You come this side. Next. Which number 99?
My lord, this is my application. My lord, this is, my lord, directed against non-holding of municipal elections, my lord. In the three...
Yet to get over the problems in the panchayat election. She is the root cause for all the problem. And still matters are hanging, sir.
No, I'm adding fuel to that.
My lord, elections
I will be adding fuel to that.
Elections are not being held for more than 2.5 years, my lord.
If elections don't help problem, you have to problem.
Nothing can be done now, sir.
My lord, last term, my lord, came to an end, my lord, in April 2000.
Now as many as 11 election petitions have been filed.
Yes.
I have assigned that to different judges.
Yes. My lord.
Election Commission of India has called for details of the election petitions which are pending in all high courts. This itself is yet to hear. It's still fuming. They are mentioning, asking that to be listed, and the Chief Election Commissioner.
My lord.
He was summoned, rule was issued, contempt is pending. He has filed an affidavit. His presence was dispensed with, subject to further orders.
But here, my lord, no elections are being
State
held.
is here, we cannot do anything. Under Section 8, my lord, state has to consult with us and have fixed a date. State is not appearing.
State is, we will direct your representation to...
My lord, that will not help because, my lord, panchayat elections, we came with a public interest litigation in 2015, my lord. There was an undertaking given before this honorable court to hold the elections within 3 months, my lord. It was held in 2023, after 23 years, my lord. No panchayat elections were held for 23 years from 2000 to 2000.
You are not part of any of the litigation concerning the panchayat election.
No, my lord, I'm
Had you been here, you would have definitely sympathized to this.
My lord, I'm citing an instance, my lord, because, my lord, in spite of giving an undertaking, my lord,
These are all futile writs, sir. Futile writs.
My lord,
And you will come forward with a contempt petition. They will say this has happened, that has happened, public unrest, census has to be taken, so many people died.
my lord, the administrator is running the conditions of the municipalities.
In my parent high court, I have been a party to 3 such orders. One concerning the administration in the Union Territory of Pondicherry. Nothing happened. Went to Supreme Court. All sorts of.
My lord, kindly see this
For
judgment.
the present, we will direct the representation to be considered.
My lord, I'll only trouble you lots with one judgment, my lord. Article 243U, my lord, which mandates holding of elections, my lord. Holding of elections, my lord, before the expiry of the last municipal board, my lord. The question arose as to whether the provisions of 243U is mandatory in nature or not, my lord.
That is correct, sir. Constitutional provisions are there. We are aware of
this, my lord. This bench decides, my lord, whether that question has been answered, my lord.
No. The cooperative society elections are yet to be over. What is that bank that we are monitoring? Almost as many as 40 writ petitions have been filed at every stage to block the proceedings. The Student Union Council, Students Union, that has not been conducted for several years. There are a batch of petitions pending. Then every council, pharmacy council, that council, every matter, elections, every election is under litigation. So, for the...
My lord, I'll only trouble you lots with 2 paragraphs, my lord.
Please.
Page 3, my lord. Page 3. The first paragraph, my lord. Page 3, my lord. The question that arises for consideration is whether Article 243U of the Constitution, by which the duration of the municipality is fixed, is mandatory in nature, and any violation could be justified in the circumstances stated by the respondents. Article 243 has been reproduced here, my lord, which says, my lord, under clause 3, my lord, an election to constitute a municipality shall be completed before the expiry of its duration specified in clause, and before the expiration of a period of 6 months from the date of dissolution, my lord. But this has been answered, my lord. I'll take your lordship to the relevant clause, my lord. Relevant part of the order, judgment, my lord. My lord, kindly come to page 8, my lord. The penultimate paragraph, my lord, page 8.
Yes.
In our opinion, the entire provision in the Constitution was inserted to see that there should not be any delay in the constitution of the new municipality every 5 years, and in order to avoid the mischief of delaying the process of election and allowing the nominated bodies to continue, the provisions have been suitably added to the Constitution. In this direction, it is necessary for all the state governments to recognize the significance of the State Election Commission, which is a constitutional body, and shall abide by the directions of the Commission in the same manner in which it follows the direction of the Election Commission of India during the elections for the Parliament and state legislatures. In fact, in the domain of elections to the Panchayat and the municipal bodies under the Part 9 and 9A, for the conduct of the elections to these bodies, they enjoy the same status as the Election Commission of India. This has been answered in the affirmative, my lord. Now I'm leaving it to your lordship, my lord. The elections are not being held for more than 2.5 years, my lord.
This writ petition, styled as a public interest litigation, flags a very important issue, namely non-conduct of election to the municipalities in the state of West Bengal. The petitioner
is relating to 3 municipalities of
relating to 3 municipalities in the
North
state
Bengal.
of West Bengal.
North Bengal.
The petitioner is a resident of Kurseong. And the last election for the municipalities in Kurseong and Kalimpong
Kurseong, Kalimpong, and Mirik Malur.
and the notified area of Mirik were held in May 14, 2017. The period of 5 years expired in April 2022. Full stop. The petitioner would state that the process for holding elections were initiated in 2022, but were abruptly stopped for the reasons best known to the respondents. In this regard, copies of memos dated 13/3/2022, 28/4/2022, and 16/4/2022 were referred to by the learned advocate for the writ petition. The grievance expressed by the petitioner is fully justified, and there can be no quarrel to the legal position that elections have to be conducted as per the constitutional mandate. The answering respondent will be the state who is not represented today. The West Bengal State Election Commission has been represented by the learned senior advocate. At this juncture, it will be beneficial to refer to the decision of the Honorable Supreme Court in Kishan Singh Tomar versus Municipal Corporation
Of
Ahmedabad, case appeal civil number 5756 of 2005, dated 19/10/2006.
Stop coming to circuit.
Not stopping.
The said appeal before the Honorable Supreme Court was directed against the judgment of the division bench of the High Court of Gujarat.
I will get some.
The appellant therein filed a writ of mandamus to direct the respondents in the writ petition, namely the Municipal Corporation of the City of Ahmedabad and the Gujarat State Election Commission, to take all steps necessary for the purpose of holding elections for constituting the Municipal Corporation of the City of Ahmedabad before the expiry of the duration of the Municipal Corporation constituted pursuant to the elections held in October 2000. The Honorable Supreme Court, while dealing with the said appeal, took note of Article 243 capital U of the Constitution of India, which deals with duration of municipalities, etc. Sub-Article 3 of Article 243 capital U has two subclauses, A and B. It states that an election to constitute a municipality shall be completed, A, before the expiry of its duration specified in clause 1 of Article 243U, which is 5 years, semicolon, and B, before the expiration of the period of 6 months from the date of dissolution. After referring to the other constitutional provisions, the Honorable Supreme Court which page you refer? Held as follows. That is in page 8, sir. Okay. Held as follows. The Honorable Supreme Court has pointed out that it is necessary for all the state governments, which includes the state of West Bengal, to recognize the significance of the State Election Commission, which is a constitutional body, and it shall abide by the directions of the Commission in the same manner which it follows the directions of the Election Commission of India during the elections for the Parliament and state legislature. Further, it was pointed out that the entire provisions of the Constitution was inserted to see that there should not be any delay in constitution of the new municipality every 5 years, and in order to avoid the mischief of delaying the process of election and allowing the nominated bodies to continue, the provisions have been suitably added to the Constitution. Despite the constitutional mandate and the observations of the Honorable Supreme Court in the aforementioned decision, we find that the state of West Bengal has not taken any action to hold elections and form new board of councillors for Kurseong and Kalimpong municipalities and notified area. In this regard, the petitioner has submitted a representation. Though the representation is a brief representation, it contains the necessary inputs for the authorities to act. Therefore, at this juncture, instead of issuing any positive direction, we direct the first respondent, namely the Principal Secretary, Department of Urban Development and Municipal Affairs, State of West Bengal, to consider the representation dated June 28, 2024, submitted by the petitioner through speed post, received by the authorities on 1/7/2024, and take a proper and legal decision, bearing in mind the constitutional provisions, constitutional mandate, and the decision of the Honorable Supreme Court referred above. We hope and trust appropriate decision will be taken by the State of West Bengal in this regard, as the Honorable Supreme Court has pointed out the importance of holding elections before the expiry of the term of office of the elected body. And in this case, the term of office of the elected body expired in April 2022, and it is high time the state notifies the election to be conducted. The above direction shall be complied with by the first respondent within 6 weeks from the date on which
My lord, if I may trouble your lordship, my lord. Section 12 of the West Bengal Municipal Act also mandates